Hey, entrepreneurs, I have a simple concept for you today to put into motion. And that is just this idea that if you have some new intention, some new way of doing business, something you want to implement, just use a password for your computer or something that you access on a daily basis. Change that password so that it's a sentence and you just use the first letter of each word in that sentence. And maybe you throw in a period or exclamation marks or whatever, some capital letters to make sure it's secure enough. But you use that as a way to embed into your mind something new, some new intention. Like, let's say, for example, that you've been thinking more about the idea that being busy is just another form of laziness. And that means you're not pulling back enough to use your mind instead of just sheer effort to accomplish your goals. And so you want to come up with a sentence that's easy to remember, but it embodies that concept. Use it as a password, and that implants it in your mind over time so that it comes up at those moments when you're about to dive into work, and then you get this little reminder that makes it easier for you to recall the intention that you already set. Another concept that's related to setting intentions that I like, I'm borrowing from Brendan Bouchard, which is that this is something I've found that actually does work for myself and for many of the people that I've recommended this to who've tried it. And that is when you switch between different tasks during your workday, just pause for 30 seconds, close your eyes, and set your intention for how you want to show up with that next task, whatever that thing is. And so if that's just going into a meeting where you're going to lead your team on some discussion, pause and ask yourself, what kind of energy do I want to bring into those interactions? What do I want them to read between the lines in how I talk, as far as the field of belief that I'm generating for my team? If you're going to do some copywriting, ask yourself, what kind of energy, what kind of belief, what kind of excitement do I want to bring to this? Because one of the things that happens is we have this residual emotional impact of whatever we've been doing, and then we just rush into the next task, and we're not optimizing for human psychology and peak performance because we're just going from task to task without first setting our intention. Intentions are very powerful. If you visualize yourself, for example, doing something with a lot of energy and happiness, there's something about visualizing yourself in the future, approaching a task a certain way, that causes us to automatically be more likely to follow through. And this comes out of research called the psychology of action, where this has been proven time and time again across a variety of different areas to be the case. That if you picture yourself doing something in a certain way, you vividly imagine yourself approaching it that way, then when that real life event occurs, you're just automatically naturally going to tend to be pulled toward the direction that you've visualized in your mind. So if I decide I'm going to head out for a jog later and I want to stop in the middle and do some sprints, if I just head out and I've had a rough day and my energy's low, I'm not likely to bring my best to those sprints. Probably going to go below my true threshold of capacity. If I'm trying to push my fitness to a higher level, all I have to do is visualize myself feeling the fatigue in my muscles and my lungs, that desire to just take it easy. And I picture myself using my mind to ramp up my energy, tapping into the reason why fitness matters to me. And I imagine the energy flowing through me, and I start to feel the strength flowing through me. And then I sprint and I pour that energy, that mental energy, into the physical exertion. That's me preparing my mind. None of it's even happened yet. But now when I go for my jog, I'm far more likely, when that moment arrives, when I get to the spot where I do my sprints, I'm far more likely to bring a higher level of energy to that. And so in business, we often skip past that. We just rush on to the next thing. And so much of achieving peak performance comes down to setting intentions, that this is a very simple way to increase the degree to which you bring the best of yourself to your work, is by slowing down for 30 seconds, just every time you're going to switch from one task to the next. Use that transition as just a moment to reset your intentions. And that's your challenge for this week. Get into the habit of doing that. I'll talk to you again soon.